There we go. That's right. Greetings, fellow geeks and gamers. Simpson today. Here we're going to be playing some Phantasy Star 2. I'm still getting set up. Get this. I'm almost ready. Don't worry. I'll be there in just a second, guys. I promise. Promises. Promise. Do 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 do. Okay. I'm almost ready. I'm almost ready. I promise. I'm almost there. All right. That's unmuted. My volume's on. That's unmuted. Ba 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 ba. Do 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 do. All right. And this. And this. Now I have my chat where I can see it. I have everything turned off because I was, playing my run yesterday, which, of course, runs yesterday went bad. Alright. Whoa, welcome back from ad break. I guess all that didn't matter because we were on ad break anyways. Be careful out there, yep. 8, 8, 16. So I'm definitely in the level for Dharam. We need to go back in, right? We haven't done the second half of it. Nido Tower is a building to... Oh, do we have to go to Nido Tower next? We went to take the walk. Okay, as you know... Arma... No, Nido Tower, okay. Alright. Okay. Alright. Sorry about that. We are good to go now. Oh no, a fight against frogs! Froggy! Sure is down here. Nay out here cleaning everything up. This was sure Arma. Okay. Okay, I know where we're going, more or less. Wait. Did I give... Does he have two, He does, okay. I should probably pull up a world map so I can remember where I'm going, but... We're gonna get the other fights here. Yep. Ow. Ow. And the guide recommends grinding up until you have enough to get 4 ceramic knives, 2 for Rolf and 2 for Rudolph. Rudo. Ah, don't split your attacks. It's fine. I'm not gonna do that, by the way. I'll eventually remember where I'm supposed to go on things. I think I'm supposed to go right over here. Down. Right. I can't remember if it's for the right or... Doot, doot, doo, 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 doo. Castform Sunny. Sure, why not? Bum, bum, bum. Oh no. Good. Oh no! Wow. We just can't hit that B. Bum 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 ba dum bum dum ba da da. Okay, that's where we were. We need to keep going then. To the tower. Is this where we get the next rank of enemies? No, not yet. I didn't catch the cast form. Darn. I sound so broken up about it, don't I? Strategy, order, Rolf, attack, Froggy. There it is. There's the tower. Maybe I should level up some. And buy. Let's see. I need to go see how much it costs to get a ceramic knife. It might be worth it. Especially since I don't have the diamate. I should probably still go back to get healing supplies either way. I'm only like 1.5 levels away from the recommended for this area, so I'm not far behind on that. But equipment-wise, I might be under. Alright, shoot the same one twice? No. One of my guys has Resta, right? Oop. And by one of them, I mean Nay has Resta, right? Yeah. Nay, Resta on Rudolph. And she's good. Locust, Pisha.
What's this? Phantasy Star Online?
Indeed. No, just Phantasy Star, no online. Cheers.
In my heart.
Okay. I was gonna say, because that's a future game, which I will be playing the Phantasy Star Online games in this as well.
I'm sure you played those on stream.
Yes, but not in the same way. I'm gonna use the same character, and we're just going to do a straight run through.
Interesting.
So it'll be like I'll go through each floor and do the government missions. So I do the story, and that'll be that playthrough for the, and then I'll also be doing Phantasy Star Online 2 in that bit.
Cool. I thought this was Phantasy Star 2.
This is Phantasy Star 2, not Phantasy Star Online 2. That's why I was clarifying.
I don't like naming systems like that. I demand more clarity! Cool. This one's your favorite, right?
Yes, yeah. By a stretch, this is my favorite one.
Now, when your title says Episode 2, is this the second Phantasy Star Online, or is this the second stream of playing Phantasy Star?
Second stream of me playing Phantasy Star 2.
Okay, cool. So there's not multiple because like Kingdom Hearts 3 has like 6 sub-games.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I didn't know if maybe Phantasy Star had started that.
Well, and Phantasy Star Online has Phantasy Star Online Episode 1, 2, 3, Card Revolution, and 4. And so, like, I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to title that, since I have been doing the streams episodically. Maybe I'll change it to part 1 at that point. I need to go. I'm going to, and I haven't yet. I need to go through and start editing these because I'm making an actual YouTube series for this.
This dude has editing software.
I do. I have DaVinci.
DaVinci. A mid-level artist. Some people would give him upper mid, but...
Yeah, but you know. He's more of a mathematician than an artist, let's be real.
He was a good mathematician, except he didn't prove anything.
I don't think you have to prove anything to be good at it. You just aren't innovative at that point.
Right.
Like, oh, I'm going to get crap for not remembering her name. The lady who did the calculations for the first space flight. What was her name?
Hidden Figures? I don't know.
Well, anyways, she didn't innovate anything, but she was damn good at what she did.
She was good at math in the other direction.
Sure.
She was good at the practicalities of math. I would put Da Vinci in the same category like Ramanujan, where he's good at the back end, except for he can't prove anything.
Sure.
He had the formal education.
Right.
And I don't even know if they proved things at Da Vinci's age, or if they just kind of went.
There were definitely people who
vibes.
did. There definitely were people who did.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't even really know when Da Vinci lived.
Let's see. More importantly than that, when did Da Vinci actually die? Da Vinci died in 1519.
15. Okay, so he's older than I thought. I thought he died in the mid 1600s.
Sure.
Just felt
He
right.
died in his home, for what it's worth. That's nice.
Well,
something that you didn't get a
unless it
lot
was
of
the
back
house
then.
fire.
Right,
It's
right.
about as good a way as you could go.
Yeah. He died at Chateau de Clichy in Amboise, France.
Amboise, France.
He was under the patronage of King Francis at the time. Chateau de Clichy. He was. Oh, he was buried at Chateau Amboise, but he lived his final days at Chateau de Croix.
Yes, French words.
I mean, that's literally just House of Claw and House of d'Amboise. So those are literally names. For what it's worth. I don't think I have anyone else I need to recruit at my house, but I better go double check. That's one thing about this game. They don't tell you when your new recruited allies show up. You have to go back to your house and make sure no one's there.
You have to actually go back and check on them.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
Which made like my first several times through as a kid a lot harder because how was I supposed to know that? I was playing, a game in early 90s when I was a child and only had some basic understanding of video games at the time, and so everything else I had played was like you recruit your allies on the go or you were playing a Mario game, like the whole fanciness of this game was beyond me at the time.
All right.
Now, when I replayed it in the 2000s, it was, a little different.
I think you can grow up in 10 years.
Do. Did you see, sorry, this is completely unrelated, and I don't know why it popped in my head, but did you see the news that there was a group of dogs that were stolen in China that broke out of the transport van?
Yeah, and they like Home Alone themselves back home.
Yeah.
Like where they all started working their way back home together.
Yep, and they were led by a corgi, and that made me chuckle. I'm like, of course the corgi is hurting the rest.
Corgis are natural herders.
Yep.
They do be like that.
I saw the video. It's super cute.
I didn't see a video. I saw a still of it, but
Sure.
yeah, it was the same thing.
I think Arima has the weapon I'm looking for, and I went to the wrong place. Sure does not. I also like how this game starts where the first game ends as far as location-wise, and your character dreams of the events that ended the first game.
Right.
Whew. Bless me. There's a
You are
swimming
blessed.
28. Oh, I have enough to buy two. I didn't realize I was that far ahead on stuff.
I like the fucking punk rocker you got there.
I love her. Yeah, she's so good.
Got big Joan Jett vibes.
Oh, wait. That's... I didn't mean to... Not Rolf. It's supposed to go to Rudolph, not Rolf.
Rudolph,
Easy mistake to make there, right?
Right. You dare mock a son of a shepherd.
Oh, wait. I'm doing that, but can Nay use these? If so, I want to give them to Nay. So let's find out. Nay, can you equip this?
Get fucking sniped, dog.
Equip. Nay. Ceramic knife? Nope, she can't. Okay. We're gonna give it to... Okay, and then I want to get 2 more of those, I guess. Give item. Rudolph.
Oh, that was almost bad.
You're almost bad.
I might be in legitimate trouble here, boys. I didn't bring enough ammo to finish this fight.
Oh no! What are you playing?
Cyberpunk.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you know, you just use your cyber implants to chop them up or break their face or something, right?
Thing is, it's a cyber psycho mission where you have to take them alive.
Oh.
I only have one gun that's non-lethal, and it doesn't have any bullets. And I don't have any stats in melee. I'm trying to get somewhere where I can get out of combat and craft some real quick.
I remember I did the one where you have to fight everyone before I had the stats. Fist fight everyone before I had the stats. And I just relied on implants to make it work.
Yeah.
Got the gorilla arms or whatever it's called.
I think it's called... Yeah. That's definitely what they're called. That's Beat on the Brat, I think is the name of the
Yeah.
quest.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I've never beaten that quest without good implants.
Oh, I only equipped one of your... Oh my gosh. Sorry, Rudolph. I lowered your potential by not giving you both weapons and only giving you one of them. Rudolph. Equipped a left hand. There we go.
I was reading somewhere online, I don't know if it was a joke or if they just really were this dense, but somebody was talking about this game, Cyberpunk, and they were like, I feel like this game kind of doesn't like capitalism. I was like, fucking really?
Noted, sir. Noted.
You're picking those vibes up? Where would you find that anywhere in this game? It's not like one of the main characters blew up a fucking corporate headquarters for exactly that reason.
And just think, that world was made back before capitalism was outright evil. It was not good, but it wasn't to the point it is in our world now, whereas now it's like, everyone's kind of like, yeah, I get this.
Now it's a full race to the bottom. But, what was I thinking about? I was watching a thing about the slang in this game, where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, it literally is just ripped straight from SoCal skateboarding culture. But he tried to make it sound more techie.
Sure.
Which is why it has such a heavy Mexican influence.
Right. Give it up, Choom.
Let's go, Chumba. Yeah. It's a funny way of talking.
Jackie did nothing wrong, except for all the stuff that he did that was definitely wrong. But, you know, we don't talk about that part.
Jackie was a great guy. I saw a very compelling argument that he should have been the main character for the first act of the game, and then you should start playing V after he died.
I think that would have been fun. I would have been down for that.
And then the argument, the reason they really wanted to do that was that they could put Jackie in the chip with Johnny.
Oh, sure.
So that way you could talk to both of them and they could be your angels and your demon. Except obviously neither one of them is going to have much moral high ground over the other. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if they had designed the game that way, I would have thought it was really cool.
Sure.
If Jackie had fully died with the chip and then V...
And it absolutely would have explained you going crazy as quickly as you do.
Yeah. So now it's 3 voices in your head, including your former best friend who you just watched die.
Right.
As well as some...
cyber terrorists? Or eco-terrorists, I mean, yeah.
I was about to say, what kind of... He's some kind of terrorist.
He is an eco-terrorist, yes. I just said the wrong thing.
Or is it like corporo-terrorist? I don't know. But yeah, he didn't like corporations.
His goal is to disrupt the economy specifically. He just does it because of corpos. So,
Yeah.
he is definitely an eco-terrorist, yes.
What just hit me? Are you not dead? Would you like to be?
Maybe.
Oh, you're supposed to... I swear to God, if that kills you, I'm gonna be real mad. Okay. Because usually when they're at 1%, that means, you know, they're down. And
Right.
non-lethal has saved you. She was still fighting. I'm like, wait, you're not supposed to still be doing stuff.
That's when you just hack into their brain.
See, I have a Sanderson, so I can't do any kind of quick hacks. In exchange, I can do a really cool slow down time effect. Which, for an SMG build, I think makes more sense.
Sure.
Especially one that has 0 intelligence. Or 3, which is the minimum.
I was playing, essentially playing a quick hack build, so last time I played.
Last time I got very far, I did it with a quick hack build. But...
I mean, it is almost like cheating.
not only that, it felt very samey after a while.
Sure.
Because you're just picking things out of a menu. You're not even, like, lining things up or trying to get...
Sure.
Blah, blah, blah. You're just like, yeah, I'll hack this camera and then hack this dude and blah, blah, blah. It's over. Which is fun for a while, but... the throwing knife and SMG kind of builds are just funner, in my opinion.
Sure. Yeah, my backup was Rippers. I almost called them Reapers. I'm like, that's not it. Mantis Blades. Mantis blades.
I was like, rippers or docks? You got one of them on payroll or something? Have I been missing out on some kind of like a secondary character you can have with you?
I mean, there are secondary characters you can have with you, but
Are there?
but they're all temporary. But yeah, there's ways to make them follow you for like a lot longer than they're supposed to.
Yeah, I knew you could do that, but I meant like permanent.
My favorite one I saw was someone glitched it where Johnny Silverhand followed him for like 3/4 of the game.
Nice.
It's like, wait, hold on.
This playthrough, I rushed through to get to where Johnny is, just so I could see if he had any interesting dialogue on a lot of quests.
Sure.
And I feel they missed a couple of quests where he could have been very hilarious if they had just let him have dialogue. Like the one where the guy's crotch is on fire. He has no dialogue in that quest.
Poor Jesse Cox.
Is that his actual name?
Yeah.
Flaming Crotch Man?
Yeah, the real world person who played that voice was Jesse Cox. AKA, used to be what? The WoW Krendor? Not WoW Krendor, WoW Kata? WoW Kata.
Never heard of him.
Have you ever heard of Cox and Krendor?
No.
Okay. Because he has a pretty popular podcast. He used to do a lot of stuff with Total Biscuit.
I know who that is.
Yeah, so if you ever see anything where he talks about Jesse, any of the old ones where that's who that is the person who played that role in that game. Same guy.
Are you gonna get a fourth character, or do they just have this lined up funny?
There will be 4, yeah.
Okay.
You actually get like 8, and you can only choose to have 4 of them with you at a time.
I just meant that you'll be able to have 4, because it is bothering me if that's all you're gonna get. It's 3 in play, and they're lined up like that.
Yeah. I went to go sell stuff and forgot that you can't. Nope, this is. I was about to say I went to go sell stuff and then went to the wrong town, and then I went back to the same fucking town.
Oh.
Man, I'm good at video games.
Good at it,
I guess I can Ryuker my way out. Tech. Ryuka! There we go. Are you the pawn shop? No. Maybe. Okay, Sonic guns. Yes. Sell. Rudolph. Sonic gun. Yes.
You said you played the tabletop version of this game, right?
No, it just came out like a month ago, or 2 months ago. So no, I was looking for it and wanting to play it, but or do you mean Cyberpunk? Sorry.
Cyberpunk, yeah.
Yes, I have played Cyberpunk. Yes.
Do they have cyberpsychosis in that?
Yes.
On your implants?
It's more than that, because you can actually have like artificially induced cyberpsychosis from people hacking your brain implants. But yes, it's a thing from that game.
So I remember you talking about the Phantasy Star RPG, but you never really got a lot of details.
Well, I don't have it literally, like I said, it was only a couple months ago that it finally came out, and I ended up not getting a hold of it. Yet, yeah. I definitely want to get it. Even if it's just another one to sit in my collection of RPG books.
It'll look so nice on the shelf.
I love how I was talking about a bunch of stuff that I have, and like mentioning them and which ones I could see and stuff, and people are like, some of them people are like, I've never even heard of that, like Over Isles or Dino or Paleomythica. People are like, I don't know what those two are. And then other ones, people are like, oh yeah, I know what, Call of Cthulhu is.
Who's not heard of Call of Cthulhu?
Right.
It's
But I just like how there is a nice mixture of I've never heard of that and I have heard of that mixed up in my collection.
Right. I met my friend Martine. He has a ton of that stuff. He's all about that life. Fuck you, car. Just saying, if you're gonna run somebody over, you can at least be nice enough to stop.
Or double tap. Either make sure they're dead or come back and check on them.
Why are the cops mad at me? I'm on their side.
Whoa, 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 I'm white.
My bullets are going the same direction your bullets are. Why am I in trouble?
Was that an inappropriate joke? I don't care if it was, but...
I don't think it really matters so much in this world. It's corpo status that seems to be
That's
a big
true.
deal anymore. You don't hear a lot about racism except against AIs.
That's true. And that's actually a big point of thing in the early books of for the game, is that racism's kind of not a thing anymore because, you know, everyone hates one target, and like there's a whole thing about how it ends race wars and stuff, and I love that.
Night City, it's in Washington, right?
I don't remember for sure. Let's look.
I feel like it's in the top east of
Night City, Cyberpunk, California. I always hate for this game how Nay starts off as like the powerhouse, and then you get, I don't know, 2 dungeons in, and suddenly she's just there along the ride. Of course, again, she is just a child being drug along with her adopted father and his random party of misfits.
As you do.
Kind of explains Lex, right?
Exactly. I'm still waiting for that phone call from the school. Hey, Lex said something really inappropriate. Did he? They're not going to call me, but I'm going to hear about it. It's going to be very funny. Probably going to hear about it because it's partially my fault.
Partially, not mostly.
I mean, he has parents. They could have made better choices about who to let him hang around with.
I was also going to say, he's also old enough now. He's, you know, not an idiot. Dynamite. Oh, right. I need dynamite. I forgot. I forgot a step.
I'm just saying, you leave your kid with a free babysitter, you get what you get. If he learns some bad language along the way, you know?
I wasn't done in the last area. I need to get... Yep. I forgot my dynamite. Who's going to remember they need dynamite for some random tower they haven't been to in 20-something years?
That one guy from Atlantis. Feel like he probably always carries a few sticks. Feel bad I don't remember his name.
Right. That was a man who loved his job, and everyone was afraid of him. But he was very, very knowledgeable and professional about it. Like, yeah, he was a crazy person who was going to blow up something at some point.
I made a bridge. I mean, like what? 20 seconds?
But he was very, very precise. He was very, very calculated. Like, he wasn't a loose cannon when it came to his explosives.
No. He didn't have one unintentional explosion throughout the whole series. He just had a whole bunch of intentional ones.
Right. And that's, you know, that's not nothing. Like, that's something that should be very, very much respected and noted.
Especially in his line of work.
Yeah. Do. Alright, I gotta go back up to the stupid place and get the dynamite.
I get dynamite.
Now I gotta remember where the dynamite is.
Talk to old man Willie.
What are we, powder gangers? Oh wait,
Of all the gangs in Fallout history, Powder Gangers are real low on my list of ones I would consider joining.
Okay. You'll need to head for the respective corner, second floor. Okay. Oh, let's go ahead and use that Resta real quick. Nay, use Resta on Rolf.
You dare heal the son of a shepherd. But we're in... I know it's just a video game asset, but there's no way in hell this would be a passing zone in real life. There's too many blind corners. You get somebody killed doing shit like that.
Maybe that's the point.
Maybe.
There's a lot of stuff in that game which is very much like, let's just do stuff that would intentionally be dangerous so people would die, so there's less population to feed.
Right. Apparently, a big point of the cyberpunk books and games is this type of alternate fuel that's in it that's not even really mentioned in this game.
Sure.
But it's like a huge deal in the books.
Well, it's kind of the whole reason things are even allowed to go the way they are.
Yeah, like, I don't even remember what it's called, but that's like, it's a big deal, but it doesn't come up in the game at all.
But that's partially because, for the most part, you're a street level individual. You're not, you know, like Johnny. If Johnny cared about that, that would be the issue. But since all he cared about was specifically the corpos, right, it's not your issue. Your issue is gangs and, you know,
Arasaka.
Arasaka. I'm saying that wrong, and my brain cannot.
You missed an R.
I could not, reconcile what was missing there for a moment.
Get your inner pirate out. Arasaka.
Arasaka. Arasaka.
Which apparently is a real company. That really did make guns for the Japanese military in World War II.
Yes.
I don't even know if they're still a real company. They were real at one point.
I'm pretty sure they're the ones that the whole... I can't even think of his name now. The guy from that Tom Cruise plays in Last Samurai, the historical American who went to Japan to sell them guns and was kidnapped. Well, it's based on a real historical figure, so that's the reason I assumed you might know who he was.
My East Asian history is extremely light.
Gotcha. So he was an American.
Mongols and China, but really outside of that,
sure,
nothing.
He was an American who went to sell guns to Japan during that transition from using awful black powder to using cartridge-fed rifles. And it's also the end of the samurai era, where like they're breaking off the feudalism and going to a different version of imperialism, and so the last samurais are all in the process of trying to still be knights, and so they're like really clinging to Bushido code and all that. Anyways, and he gets kidnapped whenever he's over there and forced to teach someone English so that way he can deal with guys in the future. And the whole point, what I'm getting at though, was that he came over and was specifically working with a company or a family in Japan to teach them how to make and sell the guns. But I'm not 100% sure. I think that was Arasaka.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So my rambling did have a purpose there.
Yeah, I knew what you were going for because that's how it started. We lost each other in the middle because I don't know anything about that movie or Japanese history, really.
Right.
An unfortunate lapse in my, I wouldn't call them studies, but just things I randomly know.
Right. A knowledge gap.
Yeah, knowledge gap's a good word for it. Something I should know more about just for the sake of how cool it all ends up being.
Right.
But, all my history-based YouTubers are Western Europe. Like, that's where they like to talk about. That's what they specialize in. So that's where most of my stuff goes. Because we both know I'm not going to actually sit down and read. That's not going to happen.
Alright, I need 2 sticks of dynamite, so I wouldn't have been able to get here anyways. If I had gone and grabbed one.
You gotta grab the other one? Where's it at?
Other side of the same tower.
Okay.
I don't know if I got the first one though, so I'm gonna go check. But even if I did, I definitely didn't get the second one, so I wouldn't have had enough anyways.
Right.
And probably through this process, I'm gonna have enough money to buy my ceramic knives.
Ceramic knives. You read the book Mistborn? They have to use obsidian knives.
Gotcha. I thought I had the key. I do have the key. Why do I have to use it? Container opens. I do have to manually use it.
The magic system in that world allows some people to control metal.
Oh, yeah, okay, I have not read it, but I am familiar with it because there was this whole conversation, I was on one of Sellsword's videos about Mistborn.
Yeah. It's by I think he's actually a very famous sci-fi author or whatever. Fantasy, that's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I've read them, and I thought they were good books.
Sure.
They are... some guy, I don't remember his last name, I think it's Sanderson or Sanders or something like that. Is the author.
Sure.
But yeah, the characters in that book... You can either, I think there's like 8 total powers, and the Mistborn have all 8, and the Mistlings have 1 of 8.
Okay.
So like, but 2 of the powers, one is pushing metal and one is pulling metal. So they don't use metal daggers because they don't want to get them taken away or become an issue. I think that's right. It's been a long time since I read the book.
But yeah, the video that Sellsword was doing was showing the real world equivalents to those with like a flint-naped knife and a
Huddle.
Uh-huh.
That's super cool. Swords from Mesoamerica.
They also showed off the Hawaiian shark tooth paddle sword thing. It's not really a sword. It's not the length of a sword, but the shark tooth weapon.
Like the punching dagger thing?
Yeah, well, it's not shaped like a punching dagger. It's shaped like a knife, but it's a little bit. It's like dagger or short sword length.
Right.
I can't think. Like I don't know what to call it because I wouldn't call it a sword. It's not long enough for that, but it's too long to call it a knife. And I don't know if it technically is a dagger because it doesn't have a crossguard, but I guess a rondelle doesn't have a crossguard either. And that's considered a dagger.
If a crossguard is ever a requirement. I am not super knowledgeable about that kind of stuff.
And of course there's no technical term for the difference between like a short sword and a dagger. It's kind of vibes based anyways.
It's context based. It's like,
Yeah,
well, compared to the other weapons of its era, this would definitely be a short sword, or this would definitely be considered like your primary weapon.
Right, because like a dirk is considered a short sword, even though there are daggers like the rondelle, which is longer than it.
Right. And then you have like stilettos, which are definitely daggers, but they have the huge handguard on them.
Yeah, or like Wakizashi versus a Tanto are, are Tantos considered daggers? Well, kind of, they're just considered a knife, even though they're the length of a dagger, and a Wakizashi is somewhere between a short sword and a dagger. It just depends who you ask.
And who was using it, and for what.
Right, exactly.
That's the thing with a lot of that stuff is, if you're holding it and you tell me it's one of those things, I'm just going to believe you. If you're the one in possession of the Wakizashi and you tell me it's a dagger, it's a dagger. I believe you.
You're going to use it to try to stab something? I understand.
It's yours? If that's how you qualify it? Alright.
I also recently saw this long, drawn-out conversation about like certain other weapons. Is this a polearm? Is it not a polearm? Like the sword spears were one of them on the list. They're like, is this a sword? Is it a polearm? And they're like, first off, there was only like 80 people who used these in history because they were less efficient than a sword or a polearm. They weren't taking the best of both and making them better. So like your semantics here don't really matter. And I was like, that's probably the best thing to take from this. Like, yeah, they're kind of neat, but they weren't as efficient as either of the alternatives. There's a reason we're having this question. It isn't because it was important. It's because there wasn't enough of them used.
Have you ever watched Modern History TV, I think it's called? It's the English guy who does a lot of stuff with horses.
I don't think so.
It's live action, but he's a really good... He does a lot of historical stuff, too.
Sure.
He talks about the the late Middle Ages is like his favorite.
Sure.
He had a theory about weapons, specifically, was that the reason... The ones that we have are the ones that survived. He said they were probably the least used weapons because the ones that got used a lot got broken and discarded. So the ones that we have are the ones that looked fancy and people kept for that reason. But that there's a good chance, the actual preferred weapons of that era are just lost.
Well, I mean, from the stuff we have written, most of the weapons that we can find, or not written but drawn, most of the weapons that were used in war were just wooden sticks with something sharp at the end of it.
Yep, stick plus sharp distance. Really all that mattered. I mean, that's what destroyed, like, knights and samurai. The reason they all lost was because it didn't matter how skilled you were. Black Powder just could do as good a job with a third the training.
Right.
With no training at all, you could get some dickhead to blow someone's head off with a cannon. So it's like, I get it. Why are you going to waste a bunch of time training 3 samurai when you can train 60 normal dudes with whatever those hand cannons were called?
Are you thinking like a blunderbuss?
No, it was a step down even from a blunderbuss. The ones that were like, they were just basically like a metal tube that they would shove shit in, and it was on a monopod.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about, yes.
They're not even as nice as a blunderbuss. They're like the tier 1 when
Right.
you first develop firearms. This is the weapon you use.
Yeah, they don't even have like a lock on it. It's literally a hole in the top that you stick.
You touch it off with a torch.
Yeah.
But they were effective. They could hit further out than a spear. They weren't usually as good as bows, but they took a lot less time to train than a bowman.
Sure. Man, thinking of that, I this is a weird side segue, but I still love hearing about how behind like the military is on stuff, and like the one that always gets me is whenever they talk about the procedure for firing an artillery involves taking however many steps back before firing it, and everyone just assumed it was safety, but they looked it up and it was to keep the horse from running away, which they hadn't used in like 40 years.
That's awesome.
And so that they took that step out of the process finally.
Yeah.
You mean we've been wasting time in this process because we didn't realize that this was for stopping horses? Wait a second.
It's a direct translation straight from when they use that kind of field artillery.
And part of the problem is it was just assumed that people knew why. There wasn't, the need to explain this is why we're doing it. Whereas if people explicitly are like, now we do this for this purpose on every step, which people get annoyed of reading, but
Right. Also, it's the military. There's a lot of just shut up and do it.
Right.
So most people are just like, all right, fine, fuck it, send it.
If people aren't out here with their rubber duckies.
Yeah. OODA loop, baby.
State. How much do I have? 28. That's enough for one ceramic knife. But I need 2 ceramic knives. 1 ceramic knife is not better than a sword. 2 ceramic knives is.
Interesting.
You can. The sword takes 2 hands, but it has slightly more damage than a ceramic knife. So if I have 1, it's better to just use the sword. But if I have 2 ceramic knives, that's a lot more damage because it's only slightly worse than the sword. So, min-max damage numbers. What do you? I don't know how much you keep up with stuff. What do you think of one-shot quests? Interactions with the D&D community with the whole one-shot debacle.
I haven't heard anything about it. What's going on?
So, one-shot, not one-shot, Soul Sword Arts did the min-max with Jock the Whipper, Bensei.
The min-max.
Yeah, so you know about that.
I know about that. And they had a little problem with audio or something.
Yeah. So One-Shot Quests is a guy who got popular during pandemic doing short form content that were D&D skits that were like the same joke told over and over again. But it was designed for quick click views and whatnot, and he did really good in that format. And then he kind of started falling off, but he was still making content. And his big thing was always trying to promote stuff in the community. And then there was this issue where he tried to collaborate with Sellsword Arts over the min-max thing. Supposedly. And they replied to him, and then he never replied again. So this is the start of a situation. He watched the first episode of min-max, and then he made a hit piece where he went to try to defame them over it. And of course, Sellsword Arts did the thing they always do, where they very politely sit down and explain everything on a video. Like they've done anytime, like they did with Shadiversity, and they did with that guy who tried to badmouth them for not posting the duel fight immediately after the duel with the guy who did reverse script stuff. Always, always. They're a class act. They know how to be grown-ups about stuff. Whether they actually are mature about it beforehand, who knows? It doesn't matter. They take the time to present it maturely, and that's all we get to see, and that's all that matters.
Right.
Uh,
Also, it's just free content for them.
sure.
Yeah,
Anyways, so he
talked shit about them.
He talked a lot of shit about them. Like, broke down their budget because they had made a budget video. He tried to break everything down there. He tried to complain about stuff. The whole time he's like, they are not spending enough money. And then he'd be like, I can't believe they spent this much money on this. So, right. So everything he was doing was, he was just making a point to complain so people saw his face again, I think. The problem was, everyone immediately was like, no, shut the fuck up. And instead of shutting the fuck up, he doubled down on it.
Nice.
And then, after all of his shit-talking and doubling down on it, he applied to try to help them make the rest of their series.
I'm gonna assume they did not accept
They did not accept his application, correct.
I kind of feel like, A, they don't need his help. They've got a lot of good help anyway. But they definitely don't want him specifically.
Like, what is wrong with you at that point where you're like, all right, I have made everyone notice me. Now it's time to follow the next step. And, oh, wait, now everyone hates me. Maybe that was a bad idea.
Yeah. I feel like to get into that situation, you kind of have to be a little bit delusional.
Right.
So there's a possibility there.
All right. Rolf, how much does sword sell for? 600, so that's not enough. Okay, well, no ceramic knives. We're just gonna stick with the sword then. I'm not gonna spend the time to grind that out for next several hours. Just for two swords that, or two daggers that will be replaced in the near future. Like, if I was gonna hold on to them for a while in the run, but I'm pretty sure we get... we get a replacement, like, within the next dungeon.
I love that in games where you grind for 3 hours for a gun, and then you find that same gun just randomly on the floor 2 minutes later.
Alright. Up into the tower, then. We have our 2 sticks of dynamite. Do 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 do. I wish I could get the ceramic claws. I don't remember when I get those, which is Nay's upgrade.
What else do we have here?
I like how whenever I'm not trying to find my way and I know exactly where my goal is, I'm like beelining directly where I'm supposed to be. It's almost like I do have some idea of how to play this game or something. I just got lost because I wasn't sure what I was looking for.
Right.
Oh. Popped my back several times. Feels amazing. Bum bum ba dum. I should move my controller on screen for this. I'm not going to fix it now. It's just going to be bad for this one. It's fine. I forgot to move it ahead of time. It's supposed to be above my chat whenever I'm playing this game.
Right. We've never done this quest before.
Which one?
The one for the crazy guy outside of Vix. I've talked to him before. He's the one talking about Alpha Centauri and shit.
Okay.
I've talked to him before, but apparently if you go back enough times, he eventually gives you a quest to go, like, do some shit. And I didn't know that.
Item. Rolf. Dynamite. Dynamite. Yeah, 3 steps back should be enough to clear yourself away from a blast zone from dynamite. A stick of dynamite, that's probably fine. Wait, actual floor needle consists of 3 floors. Floor is considerably larger than those. Sure, I know that. After getting past the door, walk to right, not left. Okay. I remembered that you had to turn immediately, but I couldn't remember which direction I needed to turn immediately. Spit Killer. Buzzer. Definitely tell this game was made in the late 80s with names like that. Bum 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 ba dum ba. Alright, after pass the door, walk to the right hand edge of the floor, walk north. After walking a little ways more, you'll see. Alright, we went through the chute. Walking due east until you hit the wall. Go north to get... Nope, I guess I'm wrong. Bum 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 ba da. Man, if I keep getting money like I have been, I might be able to just get my ceramic, like, when I go back to heal, because I've inevitably not brought enough healing items and stuff. I'll be able to buy my ceramic knives when I go to heal. Oh, I forgot to do the due north part. That's why. Due north before I move over. 100 Masada. And then we go east.
Saged. Okay.
Then we go up the chute, I believe. Use it to go to the top floor, then go north until you hit the northeast. Okay. More buttholes!
It is inevitable that I will get older, but I don't think I will ever grow up.
And I'll never apologize for calling these things buttholes. They look like buttholes. Covered in a fart cloud.
I understand. I don't deny your choices here. Despite my normally contrarian nature, I have no option but to agree with you.
Bum 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 bum.
Come on, Domino's.
Everybody, let's go. Come on, let's get to it. I know that we can do it. That's all I got. That's the end of my knowledge of that song.
Where are we going? To the wherever. That's the part where it changes every time.
Gotcha. My nephews and nieces, my nibblings, used to watch that all the time. And so, like, I'm definitely familiar with some of the songs.
The funny thing is, no one in our family did, because me and Lauren were too old and Lex is too young.
Sure.
But we still know a bit about it.
Retrace your steps back to the bottom floor. What? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I'm more annoyed now. So, this was just here, this part of this directions were just here to get me to the Trimate. My original thought of going left was actually correct for completing the dungeon. So I did remember correctly, and Apparently, I do know some stuff about this after all this time. Wow, no one can hit this single enemy. Holy crap. It took my entire team attacking exactly one guy before it was finally dead, and only because they weren't hurting it. Technique. Resta. Technique. Resta. Oh no, which floor am I on? Did I go up or down earlier? Oh no!
Check the mod.
That's a fair point. Except for my mod's behind! Sorry, not behind, too caught up, so I'm actually gonna have to rewind!
Panic!
The problem with me getting distracted by battles.
You getting distracted. Inconceivable.
I feel like I generally have a decent span of attention, but something about these old games with their very samey designs on levels get where I'm like, I don't know where I am anymore.
You have a better attention span than half the people in this call, but it's not really saying much. You can definitely get sidetracked.
Yeah, sure.
Although, to be fair, anybody can get sidetracked if you get them going. I don't know why this game keeps dropping my car in like that, but that's annoying.
Oh?
If you summon your vehicle, mine has just been dropping from like 25 feet in the air, landing on the road and then fucking shit up because it's like hitting other cars and shit. It
Right.
hasn't caused any real trouble, but it's just like, why just spawn it on the road like a normal?
I always have mine show up in the garages. Don't want to break my immersion, you know.
How you do that? What garage?
Yeah, the garage on near your apartment.
I don't think I've ever been back there since Stellamain hit my car.
Yeah.
Did you, like summon them there, or
Yes. Do I remember the process? No, but I remember that's what I always did because it felt more authentic to run back there and it's in its parking spot
interesting?
versus,
I
you know,
didn't
anything
you could do
else. Yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever gone back to that building. That part of the building, anyway.
Sure.
Because there's no other quests or anything in there.
You're right.
And you can just summon your car. How big this game would be if it was actually... If City was actually scaled to the way it is in the lore.
Oof. Woofed.
You know, a city of 12 million people or whatever. As opposed to this game is like 3,600 or however many people live in town.
Right.
But
The funny thing is, I don't know how much bigger the city would be, but it wouldn't be as physically big as you would think, because that's part of the things in Cyberpunk's lore, is like, it's kind of like Kowloon, where they're all just stacked on top of each other.
right.
I want to get one of the Kowloon VR games and just walk around in Kowloon Walled City.
I thought they tore that thing down.
They do, but they've made VR games about it.
Okay.
Recreating, using all the pictures and stuff from different news sources.
Because I guess China got in their feelings about it for some reason. China? Singapore.
Well, part of the reason I know that it got tore down was when it was sold back to China. So it was no longer part of England.
Like, governor.
I also love how. Do you know what the number one professional job or professional profession? There we go. Actual profession. Or I guess both all of them are actual, but what am I trying to say? Professional level, quote unquote, profession was in Kowloon Walled City.
Wasn't it dentists?
Yeah, dentistry.
They had like a bunch of black market dentists working out of there because of some weird restriction in that part of China.
Yep. I love that. And they were right on the entrance, so that way people could drive into Kowloon to get their dentistry done.
They were all on the ground floor.
I love that as a random. It's like, yeah, we have one of the biggest drug cartels, but you know, those guys are all near the top, and there's only like 4 of them. We have a whole red light district, but that's like one alleyway, and you know, there's only like 12 of them. We have 48 different dentists, though. You know,
we have a ton of dentists for whatever reason,
and they were all doing their business very well because, you know, again, people would drive in from outside of Kowloon to come get their teeth done.
And the nice part about it was there were so many of them, if you didn't like one, or if one got a bad name, you could just go to a different dentist.
Yeah, you could go next door. Also, there's
a short video on it where they mentioned the surprising amount of dentistry that went on there.
And on top of that, the other nice part is you never would have a wait. Because if the one you were at had a wait, you just go next door. There's, you know, again, like an unreasonable number of them, so you will find one that has room for you.
Mm-hmm. Even on peak times. Yeah, that place was really fun because it was used a lot in those, like, how much land would you need if this level of population density? Because it was like the highest in the world.
Right.
You could fit like all of the human race in like the greater Houston area in Texas if they lived at that density.
There was a love story, a love novel, whatever, romance novel. That's what I'm trying to say. A romance novel written from a character in Kowloon Walled City who it's not even like a positive romance novel because he never sees her again after they have their little meetup because he just can't remember the route to get to her again.
Can't ever find her again.
Yeah.
I find it genuinely amazing how many people have stories like that where they're like, yeah, I met this girl, she was super great, and she went to the bathroom, I never saw her again. Didn't actually know where she lived, had no way to track her down.
Well, and in Kowloon, it would have been even, like, because there was no maps. Like, even if you had her address, how are you going to find her again?
Right.
The route to her house may even be different within a week.
Right, because things just got built and tore down randomly.
Yeah.
Or not randomly, it was done with purpose, but...
Yeah. Organically.
Yeah. Just sort of as shit was needed, they throw it up or take it down, or...
Yep.
It's a nutty place.
I would also, if I had the stuff to do it, one thing I would love to do would be make a campaign in a world like that. But I would want to make a way to map it out semi-reasonably, even if it wasn't proper. But for like a sci-fi, cyberpunk era game.
Kind of like a Ravnica style world, maybe?
Yeah.
Where it's like just the whole world is one big city, or is it just like all the people live in one super city, the rest of the world's empty?
I would want it to Coruscant, yeah, like where it's all one giant city is what I would want. The whole planet. But it would also be super dense.
Super dense, weak, with no real like centralized government to keep things orderly.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do that with cyberpunky megacorps or like magic-based guilds, even.
Right.
From like Ravnica.
But I also want to physically. The problem is I don't have the stuff to map it, and that's one thing I'd want. I'd want it to be consistent. Oh, damn it! I forgot they're not here. I want it to be consistent-ish. So that way,
sections pretty easily, but trying to do the whole thing would be impossible.
right? And I wouldn't necessarily need the whole thing, but I would need it to be in a way where my players could say we're going this route, and it's the same next time, or same enough.
I mean, you could use some of the online city editors, and you could just kind of force stack them together.
Sure.
But I don't know how well that would work. Probably would not achieve what you're looking for. But yeah, I could get it as like a world where everything is these super dense hive cities, like from 40K.
Yeah.
You might look into Rogue Trader because they use hive cities a lot in those, and those
That's
are
true.
kind of built that way.
That's
there
true.
Might be some tool in their arsenal for that.
But yeah, I think it'd be cool to have that, and then like the whole campaign takes place in one city, but it's because the city is so dense that it doesn't feel like one city.
Or even if it just took place in like one, like a borough of the city.
Right.
Like it's still a huge physical area, but it's like only a tiny portion of the city itself.
Yeah.
I think that would be kind of cool. If you could figure out the intricacies of something like that.
Alright, now we're double ceramic knifed up. Double cheeked up on a Thursday.
Hell yeah. Love to hear it.
Oh,
yeah, I don't know. If you wanted to go, like, insane density would require just so much mapping.
And like I said, the funny thing is I don't even want it to all be perfectly mapped out. Like, I'm okay with there being big sections, but I would need to do it in a way where the players can consistently be like, okay, we're going this way because we know that this path is something we can do, and have that for multiple options throughout.
Like, we're gonna go down this alley, take this elevator, go through this department store, and that gets us to this section.
Right.
That have reasons to go back and forth through there.
Right.
I mean, that's the kind of world you could have where, like, people had never seen grass.
Yeah.
You could have the concept of, like, your urban druids and stuff, and then, you know, your super rich people have, like, a quarter acre with some grass on it.
Yeah, that you can do the whole. There you have a. What do they call them? A sun garden? Is that what it's called? Where they artificially create a sunny area so that way people don't die of depression?
No idea. Never heard of such a thing.
So, like, they're in places where they have really high, like, in parts of Japan and parts of India, they have these little glass case gardens.
Biospheres.
Huh?
Kind of like a biosphere just for shininess.
Yeah, it has like 2 trees in it, some grass, and an artificial sun area. So that way you can go in, and it has like air filters in it, so you get fresh oxygen. And it's just so you're not so depressed that you die of depression because you get to see the sunlight and stuff, even if you live in an area. And they're only open like certain hours in the night for the people who only work overnights and stuff. I can't think what they're called.
Never heard of that. That's interesting.
Let me see if I can find what they're called. Again, I think it's like a sun garden, so I'm going to look that up. That's not it. I learned about them through a whole breakdown by Annie Austin about stuff that exists in Cyberpunk. Because there's two of them in Cyberpunk, and that's where I learned about them. And of course, Annie Austin does all the research, so I trust his stuff. I know he's not an expert, but I also trust that he did actually research stuff before he gave me the information. So, because obviously he gave it to me directly, right, and not everyone.
Right. I just tend to think it can be such a weird world where people would need stuff like that.
But we're almost to that point in parts of our real world. Like I said, again, those exist apparently in parts of Japan and India where the population is so dense, and some people have to just live at night because of the way the population has to exist.
I mean, like, I lived at night for years, it never really bothered me, but
Sure.
I saw the sun occasionally.
But you saw this exactly. But they're living in a place where the buildings are so tall that you don't see the sun until like 11, 11 in the morning or whatever. Which is fine for the rest of the people. Huh?
Until it's right on top of you.
Yeah, exactly. Which is fine for the people who are awake during the day because they'll be out during that time, but the people who have to sleep at some point in the middle of the day, Yeah, I thought that was really neat to learn about. So.
I wonder, do we know, did they ever release the population of like Coruscant or any of those big
Yes. Yes. Do I remember?
rough
But
idea what it was? Is it in the trillions or was it still down in the billions?
let's see. 2 to 3 trillion for Coruscant, according to the visual guide. The most recent visual guide, Star Wars: The Acolyte visual guide, cites it at 2,981,780,000,000. 78% of the population is human.
A lot of humans. Just catastrophically large number.
And it is a entire planet or it is a city planet where there's not a part of the planet that doesn't have city.
And that planet doesn't do any kind of homegrown food, right?
They technically have like those floating gardens that are like glass spheres. But I think that's more personally owned so you can, be hoity-toity and get your herbs from your garden sort of situation. But generally, yeah, all food is imported beyond that. I also wish we got more scenes like in episode 2 where Obi-Wan went to the burger. Or was that 2 or 1? Where he went to the diner? That was 2. That was definitely 2. 2 because that was when they start the clone stuff. Yeah. I wish we got more scenes like that, where you see normal, lived-in parts of the world. Instead, we either see the world through crime, like, Han Solo and whatnot, war with soldiers, or the, religious nuts of the Jedi/Sith.
I see a little bit of, like, the aristocracy, too.
Yeah. I know you're wrong, like, you get more of the everyday with, like, Mandalorian.
Should watch that sometime.
I need to finish watching that.
Seems like a good series I should watch.
I've enjoyed it, what I have seen of it. Of course, I may be biased towards enjoying something about Mandalorians.
Yeah. You do have that tattoo.
I was for a little while in the cosplay group, the Mando Mercs.
Yeah, I don't disbelieve you. I totally believe you were doing that. Sounds exactly like something you would do.
I always love how different the three versions of the character sprites are. Like, clearly, three different people did the different things. The back sprites, the walking sprites, and then the combat sprites. I always talk about specifically Ney with her three different types of ears, but, like, even the other characters... Rolf is the best of the three, but...
Ney has three different races depending on who drew her that day.
Yeah. Is she an elf? Is she a cat ear thing? Does she have antenna on her head? What is she? To be fair, she is part monster, so the answer could just be yes to any of those questions. Now, the official art shows her as an elf lady, but... I think this is the shoot I need to go to. Bum 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 bum. Bam! Get dead, Toad.
Oh, I'm getting kidnapped.
Haha, get kidnapped, nerd. Visa nerd, right?
Sure. I landed in the back of a truck, so it wouldn't let me fall out, and it wouldn't let me jump out. So I was just going wherever that truck was going.
Let's get down to business. The Huns. Did they send me daughters when I asked for sons? I don't remember the rest after that.
You're a spineless lot, pathetic something. And then I forget.
Like, I know bits later, too, but, like, not in a continuous stream of knowledge. I used to know how to sing it in Chinese at one point. We can blame Jackie Chan for that, by the way.
Yep. He voiced Shang?
Shang, yeah.
Shen.
But yeah, he also he sang, like, as a promo, they had him sing, and there's this great video of him singing it. And so I watched that so many times, I actually learned how to sing it in Chinese for a while. Nerd.
In reference to your earlier question, I really don't think B would be considered much of a nerd, depending on which background you chose.
Sure.
Maybe corporate B would.
You know, I know that Nomad gives you theoretically the most full experience, but I think that's my least played background.
I almost always pick either Street Kid or the other one. Street Kid's the fastest to
Yeah,
start,
yeah.
so it has the advantage there.
Corpo gives you a slightly different approach as to like directly with Arasaka, but like Nomad gives you more information with like 3 of the other NPCs, and you get your car.
Yeah.
So much more, content that way. But
Yeah, giving your car back or giving it to that crazy chick are both kind of cool.
But I don't know why. That's the one I played the least.
My guess would be because either it's the longest intro or you just felt the other ones were more interesting.
That's fair. I also like doing Corpo just because there's something funny about seeing Jackie in a suit.
That's true in all of the.
Yeah, but you get to see
Power.
you get to see him in a suit for more than one section in the Corpo one.
Do you?
Yeah, you get to see him in passing early on.
When you meet him in Lizzie's, he's not wearing a suit.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure there's more than one scene in the Corpo one where you see him in a suit.
To me, I always just felt like Street Kid
Feels the most like part of the actual
felt
story.
the most right.
Yeah.
Feels the most right for V just to be some punk off the street who got desperate and violent.
I definitely feel like Corpo feels the least accurate to be V.
Yeah.
Even if it is kind of a tragic reason and whatnot,
Yeah, Corpo V is just doesn't feel right. Nomad feels fine, but I think Street Kid just seems the best. But I mean, you don't get a ton of interactions for being a Street Kid.
No.
Rarely run into them, which surprises me.
Right? Especially since you're like half the game takes place on their turf.
Yeah. Like you're an ex-Valentino, like you really should have more dialogue.
Yeah, you get like what 2 extra scenes with what's his face from the very beginning of all that?
Padre.
Yes.
Ibarra.
And then like one scene with the guy who tried to set you up, he sets you up again, and then you get to choose to kill him or not.
Yeah. I actually have been ignoring that quest. I need to go do it.
And that's about it. Like, I think that's all you get out of playing Street Kid. I may be wrong. There may be other ones that I've missed, but
You get a couple of dialogue options where you know some shit. Like when you go to start the Arasaka Tower quest, you know some more about Arasaka and how dangerous
sure.
what you're going into is. It doesn't really change anything.
Man, I'm just gonna gain so many levels. I'm gonna walk through everything if I can't remember how to go, and this guide doesn't get any better.
Guy's using a guide. Mock him.
This guy doesn't know how to read. Mock him.
How will I know?
I saw a argument recently where someone was trying to pick on someone for using magic in Elden Ring, and the guy's like, this guy can't read tooltips, mock him, and the guy's like, no, I can read. The moment he said that, I was like, bro just lost. You don't give in to that. You don't let him actually get to you if you're gonna try to make fun of him.
Never had a problem with magic in Elden Ring. I just never really liked it.
Sure. It's definitely my favorite playstyle. I also love how people will try to be like, oh, it's so much easier than strength. I'm like, I get like 1/8 of the damage reduction you have, and I have to stop to cast. What?
My thing is, I've always found it harder because you have to manage a second bar.
Right.
Now it's just your stamina and your health. You now have to manage your fucking mana pool and split your flasks and.
Yep, and you have to keep track of another item list for your spells.
Versus strength is just like have hammer, go bonk.
Right.
Victory.
I also never tried to talk bad about people who do go full in on bonk, but like anytime I see the argument, it's like, no, magic makes it easy. I'm like, bro, did you try magic? Have you tried playing with magic?
I think a lot of those people have never tried it though. They're like, oh, it's just you get range and you do damage. It's like, yeah, at the end you do some damage. But early game, you're supplementing your attacks with a little bit of extra damage at the cost of worse armor and having a lot more shit to manage.
You're spending a lot of your run running away.
But I also don't wear armor hardly ever when I play, so
Sure,
there's that.
sure.
So the damage reduction doesn't really apply because I almost always have super heavy weapons and I'm still trying to light roll.
Sure. But
wear like pants only.
what I'm talking about is the strength stat gives you physical damage reduction as well.
Does it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So like every level you get all your resistances, so a lot of people don't realize it, but strength gives you like an extra 1 on your physical resistances every time.
So I knew you got the every level one. I didn't know the strength gave you extras.
Yeah, and so it's only against, striking, slashing, and piercing. Is that what they call the third one in Elden Ring?
Sounds right.
But yeah, so you get those resistances, get an additional 1 per. Which, I mean, doesn't matter, except for whenever you're 60 levels deep, that's 60 more resistance to each thing. Which suddenly does matter at that point,
Yeah, that becomes enough to be helpful at the very least.
Yeah. Why are mages so squishy? They don't have enough vigor. Bro, I have 60 vigor. I just don't have 60 freaking damage reduction that you do.
Right.
And it's the only stat that gives you... I say that. I don't know if that's true. Mind may also give you resistance to magic. Which I always think it's interesting that it's mind. But I don't know if that's true. And Arcana gives you bonuses to your affinity resistances.
Yeah.
Or not affinity, affliction resistances. I think dexterity doesn't because it gives you the bonus to casting speed, which, okay, that matters for me, but it doesn't matter for everyone.
And not everyone.
I wish it did the thing where it's reduced the stamina cost on dodging like it did in some of the older games, because then it would be, okay, now this does 2 things that matter.
Both of which are very good. Just at 25 net runner, I haven't used a single quick hack. My main gun turns off cyberware, which counts as using the glitch cyberware quick hack.
Okay. I think I felt like I did a lot of mine just through leveling just by hacking stuff, like not quick hacking, just going in and doing like the terminals and whatnot.
Yeah, I haven't done a whole lot of that either. I've been playing the run and gun dumbass at this point.
Hell yeah.
Dash, air dash, Sanderson, SMGs.
The Johnny Silverhand special of, I am not really actually that smart, I'm just here to blow things up.
Yeah, except I didn't use a pistol.
I love how he really thinks he is the God's gift to humanity. It's like, you were kind of an asshole who barely managed to do anything, but just had a fancy gun and could kind of sing.
Yeah, Carrie was a better singer. I think we can all agree. There's a reason Samurai only got so far in Carrie's solo career. significantly further. Be interested to know about some of the other like named characters that Jackie mentions, like Adam Wayland and Boa Boa and those people. Clearly, there have to be somebody in the books. I'm guessing.
I think some of them are even mentioned in the game supplements.
Like Adam Smasher, you meet obviously Johnny Silverhand, you meet, but like Adam Blackhand and the other ones, like who are these people? Obviously, you meet Rogue also, but he doesn't mention her for whatever reason. Susan Forrest, that was one of them.
I'm about to warp back out and start over because I'm definitely lost at this point.
Are you still lost in that? I've been kind of half-ass watching. Like it's on the other screen, but I'm doing something.
I have collected every box for what it's worth. I just can't remember how to get to the boss at this point. The problem is there's like 4 of these chutes, and they're not like they're. It's too samey looking. This is, you know, one of those ones where they could use a little bit of
That would have required more memory.
That's true. Listen, I may understand the problem. That doesn't mean I have to like it.
Doesn't mean you have to accept it.
All right. Well, okay, leading up, take this back. Then walk west from the chute until you hit the wall, then north until you hit another wall. Okay. So west until we hit the wall.